Did Dolly Parton just say goodbye? That's the quiet question on the minds of millions of her fans today. Because with just 2 little words, going home, Dolly managed to spark a wave of emotions around the world. 2 words. That's all it took for people to feel surprised, confused, nostalgic, and yes, even scared. Her message was short. Simple. Nothing flashy or dramatic. But the second it hit social media, people everywhere started talking about it. Sharing it. Wondering. What did she really mean? Maybe you've seen it already. Maybe you scrolled past it earlier, and those words just stayed with you. Sitting there in the back of your mind, tugging at your heart in a way you didn't expect. Because that's just who Dolly is, isn't it? She's always had this rare gift, this quiet magic, where she can say so much, without saying much at all. She doesn't need a long speech. Or fancy words. Or a viral video. Dolly can write one little sentence, and it feels like she's speaking directly to you. Like she knows exactly what you've been feeling, even if you've never said it out loud. And this time, with Going Home, she did it again. That's why people all over are asking, is she really saying goodbye? Or is there something deeper she wanted us to hear? It's no secret that Dolly's life has never been easy. Not even close. From the very beginning, her story was full of hardship. Poverty. Heartache. And sacrifices so personal that only she will ever truly understand how much they cost her. But you'd never know it by looking at her. When we think of Dolly Parton, we think of the sparkle. The big hair, the rhinestones, the smile that could light up a stadium. That sweet, funny charm that seems unshakable. Untouchable. But if you've ever really listened to her songs, really listened, then you already know she's been telling us the truth about herself all along. She's someone who came from nothing. Someone who clawed her way through heartbreak after heartbreak. Someone who learned the hard way that even when the lights are brightest, you can still feel completely alone. That's why her post about going home hits so many people so deeply. Because even now, after decades of fame, after becoming one of the most beloved and recognizable artists in history, Dolly still feels it. That quiet little pull. That gentle, insistent voice inside that whispers, go home. So what does home really mean to her? She told us in her post. She wrote about her roots. About those hills in East Tennessee where she grew up surrounded by family. 12 children all squeezed into a tiny, one-room cabin. No money. No running water. Just love, faith, and the faintest glimmer of a dream she didn't even know how to name yet. She wrote about her mama. Hands rough and calloused from endless work, but somehow still gentle when they'd stroke her hair at night. She wrote about her daddy. A man of quiet pride and quiet struggle, who never learned to read or write but taught her what it means to stand tall anyway. She wrote about her brothers and sisters, barefoot and giggling, running through the wild green hills with nothing but the sun on their faces. She wrote about how, no matter how far she's traveled, no matter how big the stages or how loud the applause, her heart has never really left those hills. That cabin. Those memories. Because no matter where she goes, that's still home. And isn't that something we can all understand? Think about it for a second. Have you ever gone back to your hometown after years away? Walked those old streets, the ones you used to know by heart, and felt that strange mixture of comfort and sadness? That feeling that nothing's really changed, and yet everything has? That's what Dolly was trying to say. She didn't spell it out. She didn't tell us she's retiring. Or walking away. But you could feel it in her words, that quiet longing to go back to herself. Back to who she was before the world asked her to be anything else. And for her fans, that hit hard. The comments started pouring in almost immediately. People saying things like, "Don't scare us like that, Dolly. We're not ready to let you go yet." Or, "You always know how to break our hearts and put them back together all at the same time." One fan wrote, "You just reminded me what really matters. Thank you for that." Because that's the thing about Dolly. She reaches people. Not just as a performer. Not just as a celebrity. But as a person, she's never forgotten where she came from. She's never stopped being that little barefoot girl in the Tennessee hills. And she's never let her fame make her forget what's really important. She's even said it before. She's talked about how she still owns that little cabin she grew up in. How she goes there whenever she needs to breathe. Whenever she needs to feel quiet again. She's written so many songs about home, family, and faith, because those are the only things that have ever really mattered to her. Even now, she prays the same way she did when she was a little girl. She sings when she feels lonely. She finds her strength in the simplest of things. And maybe that's what makes her different. That's why people all over the world, from Nashville to Tokyo, feel like she's theirs. Like they know her. Because no matter how famous she's gotten, she's never let herself forget who she really is. And maybe that's why her post struck such a chord this time. Because we live in a world that's always telling us to do more. Be more. Have more. But with just 2 words, Dolly reminded us, sometimes, the most important thing you can do is go back. Go back to yourself. Go back to what you loved before the world told you it wasn't enough. Go back to the people who knew you before you became who you are now. Because that's what going home really means. And maybe, that's exactly what we all needed to hear right now. Because it's easy to lose yourself, isn't it? Life gets busy. Messy. You get tired. You start chasing things you don't even care about just because everyone else is chasing them. And before you know it, you don't even recognize the person staring back at you in the mirror. But here's the thing. You can always find your way back. Dolly proved that. And maybe you can, too. So let me ask you something. What does home mean to you? Is it the place you grew up? Or is it a person? A memory? Maybe just a quiet little corner of yourself you haven't visited in a long, long time? Take a second. Really think about it. And if you feel like sharing, write it in the comments below. Because you never know, your story might be the one that helps somebody else find their way back, too. If you're a Dolly fan, and really, who isn't? And you want to hear more about her incredible journey, stick around. We've got another story coming up soon about how she turned her greatest heartbreaks into her greatest hits. And if you liked this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe. Join our little family here. Because no matter how far you've gone, it's good to know there's always a place you can come back to. So here's to Dolly. Here's to home. And here's to you. We'll see you in the next one.